Hello, people out there in YouTube land, and hello at 3:05 a.m. So, anyway, so last night, not tonight, but last night was Samhain or Halloween, and for the first time since my wife passed away, I I should say, it was Lisa and myself. We we went we went to the dollar store, and we had gotten some things. This was actually several months ago, I think. And we got some things that are like a buck. Like there were some yo-yos. One yo-yo was looked like a car tire. A couple were glow in the dark. There were some little metal puzzles that you can do, and some silly putty. I think, well, those were the big things. And then there were some like vampire teeth. You get like 10 in a bag or 20 in a bag or whatever for a buck. And did not get any whoopee cushions this year. I used to love including the whoopee cushions. But anyway, there were some little glow in the dark snakes about yay long, and it was, it's fun. And we got these little bags about yay big, uh, yay wide. And we got a bag of assorted candies at the Walmart, and put them all in the bag. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to include some Magic the Gathering cards. So put those in there. Well, we had a jack-o'-lantern out there, which is still out there. Our son, Michael, I think I introduced Michael to you in another video. Some of those kids were afraid of Michael. Um, but anyway, that was the first time I've done that in 3 or 4 years. So that was good, and I'm glad I had somebody to do it with, somebody I love and care for, like and care about. So that was good because we did it together. I mean, I was the one outside because it was cold. She would have gone out there, but she didn't want to go out in the cold. Well, I like the cold. I mean, there can be 20 feet of snow. It can be minus 40, and I'm like, hey, this is fun. This is good weather. A cousin of mine said something about, oh, you wouldn't think somebody who lived in Texas as long as you would like the cold. But I'm like, yeah, I hate heat. I do not. I mean, look, I have lived in 3 countries. Well, one of those countries doesn't really get hot. I mean, it gets like in the 80s, and you have a breeze coming off the ocean because you're on an island. But southern Spain, Okinawa, Texas. If you want to include Northern Virginia, you can, but I don't. I was so young, I don't remember it. I mean, I have a memory from that. We were only there a year, um, and so I don't remember. I don't know. The girlfriend, she's from Virginia, but anyway, so my cousin was saying you wouldn't think somebody lived in Texas as long as you would like the cold weather. I'm like, yeah, I like it. Southern Spain and Texas, hot. Um, Interesting thing is southern Spain could be windy and dry, depending on what part of southern Spain you're in. Um, because it could be humid too, but interestingly, it could be dry. There was you can go down into the valley in Texas. It's called the Valley. This one area. It can be quite humid, yet it looks like a pseudo desert. It's not technically a desert, but it, you might think it was, but it's not really a desert. But anyway, so that was good. I enjoyed myself. Some of those kids had some fantastic costumes. This one family, um, the mother, the father, and the oldest child were dressed up as robots. These were homemade costumes. And then the mom had the baby on a like a chest harness inside the robot suit. It was really cute. And the little girl, you could only reason I know she was a girl because she said something and the parent said something to her and they called her by a female name. So I'm like, it's a girl. But it was the cutest outfit. I mean, I saw them down the road coming this way. I'm like, what in the world is that? And I'm thinking they had, how do you say, aluminum tinfoil hats. That's what I was thinking. I'm like, they're dressed up as somebody who's afraid that the government is reading their mind or something. But they were dressed up as robots. I just couldn't tell because it was dark, and they were. Hey, John, that's John Boy right there. Oh, that's John Tail. And he wanted to go out there. Lucky wanted to go out. Lucky loves kids. Um, but a friend of mine came by. We talked for a few minutes, and we had a good time, a really, really good time. And the Great Pumpkin did show himself. So the Great Pumpkin did show himself in Troy, New Hampshire. That was very nice. Um, I gotta say, I love this town. I don't like this town. I love this town. I love the people in it. And I've never, in all my years of living in the United States, thought I would love living here. That is to say, love living in the United States. Because I spent the early part of my life living in other countries. He's getting into everything. And I had this wig on, this big thing wig, and I'm still pulling the strands out of my mouth and out of my hair and my beard and stuff like that. Uh, I mean, I didn't dress up as anything. I just put it on. I'm like, well, might as well do something. That is drying. That is the plug for my horn, my powder horn. And it goes in there like that. It may be a little too long. I may need to take it down a bit, but I got it stained finally. No, the stain's not completely dry. And staining that, a friend of mine, both here on YouTube and Facebook, made an excellent suggestion that I take pine pitch, which there's plenty of up here. The many of the pine cones on the ground right now have a lot of that pine pitch on them. They're very very sticky. But he said, I could fill the holes with that, and then sorry, that stuff is still gooky on there. It's not dry yet. And then like put some dirt on top of it to keep the stickiness from sticking onto anything and everything, because it will stick on everything. Um, but and I'm going. I was looking at a catalog earlier. I'm going to get a longhorn, a horn from a longhorn. Not getting a longhorn. We're not getting a longhorn. We're going to get. I'm going to get a longhorn horn. In other words, a longhorn. Now, this is too small. In all honesty, I consider this too small. But I've made the first one, and for now, this is fine. I've made mistakes on it. I've done some things right. I've worked on it, tested it. It works. It's going to do what it's going to do. It's just small. I really want something larger. But for now, this is what I have, and I want to get a pretty long longhorn horn. This is a see, I can adjust that, but yeah, I'm gonna have to. Oops, no, that's the one that came with the kit because I put this together. This was a build. Um, it, this is the one that I'm going to be using. So, well, actually, you know what? They are about the same length. Look at that. But that needs to dry more, and that needs to dry more. What I really like is a 62 caliber smoothbore flintlock long gun. I don't have that kind of money, not even close. That's well easily over $1,000. I mean, like 1,200, 1,300. And I'm not going to buy a kit because it's just I'm not good at building those. I built the 50 caliber flintlock rifle and kind of nervous about shooting it. I haven't shot it yet, but um, I thanks to a number of people on on one group on Facebook, um, I'm gonna make uh, a hunting shirt, long hunter shirt. This is a shirt that goes over your regular shirt. But I'm going to need 4 yards of linen. 4 yards. And the linen at the Joann Fabrics is like $19.99 or $19.95 or something like that per yard. So that's $80. I need 4 yards because it has to be long. It goes, may not go down to my knees, but it goes above the knees. And um, which would be good too, because my breech cloth or breech clout, I used to call it a breech cloth, although mine's made of leather, not cloth. I actually have 2 of them. One's too narrow, but it'll help cover that part of my body up. You don't need to see that part of my anatomy. Nobody does except me and maybe my girlfriend. But otherwise, but that's a lot of money. I may try to buy a smaller amount, like 1 or 2 yards first, because I could always sew it together if I had to. Somebody said, I asked the question. I asked if I had to use sinew to sew it, and somebody said, nah. Said his wife just uses modern thread, and I'm like, I might be willing to use modern thread, but it has to be a natural thread like linen or cotton or wool, or it has to be 100% real. It's like there was cheaper linen in the store, but it wasn't 100% linen. It was like linen in lycra or linen in nylon or whatever, and I'm not going in that direction. So the tools I use to build the flintlock, I mean not the flintlock, sorry, the powder horn. These are little files. I use these. Um, they're different shapes, so I have a set of them that I bought probably a year or 2 ago, maybe 3. No, it wouldn't be 3 years ago, but maybe a couple of years ago, and use those. They were also used on the flintlock. Um, for stain, I used this Minwax wood finish. I used that on the stock of the rifle and the butt plug of the powder horn and the plug for the powder horn. Now, this was going to be included on the powder horn, but I decided not to. I think it would actually make it look maybe more rustic. That would be the outer part. When I was staining the stuff, I would put the like a add this, and I would use it to set it on there so it didn't get on all over everything. But it's dry now. But this was shaped, that area right there. I used these cheap chisels that I bought. They're small, cheap chisels, and I use that. Plus, I use my tool, the cross. You know, the emblem is no longer on there; it's worn off. But you know, that way the horn would fit inside of that. But I'm not going to put that on there. I do have a dowel. And that's what I made this with. And this is a soft, look at it, you see that? You see how it's, look at that. This is a soft whetstone. I need to get a hard whetstone, preferably double-sided, but I don't have the money for it right now. So my beard does this. It parts itself in the middle, and other times it goes to one side. Just naturally goes to one side. I think that's the side it goes to. Yeah, I took a shower today, so my hair is, look at that, man. And there's a bald spot back here. At least I still have hair. I had a friend in San Antonio who was in his 20s, and he had less hair than me. But so I need to get my glasses because I'm have these books on vocabulary, grammar, spelling, math that I need to work on. But using reading glasses is, it's not the same as a pair of prescription lenses. So I'm probably going to need to get a new eye test because it's been almost a year since I had that last eye test. And I have like the beginnings of a cataract on one eye. So, but the doctor said it's nothing to be concerned about right now. Actually, I was his first patient of this year. In January, I was his first patient of this year. It was kind of neat. My sister's birthday's coming up. I'm going to send her a card. Um, um, when I get the Longhorn, I'm going to probably do some of the same things with the Longhorn that I'm doing with this, like the Big Dipper, the Little Dipper will go up there, the North Star map of New Hampshire, Live Free or Die, my name, and things like that. But it'll be a larger horn, so I'll be able to put more things, you know, be able to scrimshaw more on it. Let's see. I don't know what else I need to talk about. I don't know. I guess that's all for now. Bye bye.